Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom marked the fifth entry in the Jurassic franchise. While performing pretty well in the box office, the reviews were extremely mixed. I myself have gone through periods of loving this movie and periods of not being able to overlook its many flaws. What I will say is it's not just another dinosaur movie, but it's a standout entry in the Jurassic Park franchise. And of course we'll be talking about the film's most terrifying creation, the Indoraptor. To me this movie really feels like two movies in one. Fallen Kingdom takes us on a wild ride starting with a high-stakes rescue mission on Isla Nublar. The island is literally about to explode from a volcano, and our protagonists Owen and Claire along with Franklin and Zia are racing against time to save many dinosaurs. The first half of the movie is a more classic Jurassic Park. It's intense, thrilling, and filled with awe-inspiring visuals. There's also that absolutely devastating scene with the Brachiosaur that I'm sure had grown men fighting back tears. The fact that it was the same species we first see in the original Jurassic Park, and some people theorize it's actually the same Brachiosaur, which makes it even more sad. But just when you think you've seen it all, the movie shifts gears in a big way. The second half of Fallen Kingdom is where things take a really dark turn. The story moves to the mainland, specifically to the creepy gothic Lockwood estates. And this is where we meet the Indoraptor, one of the most terrifying and innovative creations in the entire franchise. The creature is a next step in genetic engineering, designed specifically as a weapon. The Indoraptor is a hybrid of the Indominus rex and Velociraptor, combining the most terrifying traits of both species, and of course the Indominus rex was already an amalgamation of many species already. The Indoraptor is not just a dinosaur, it's a killing machine engineered to be smarter, faster, and deadlier than we've ever seen before. It isn't just physically terrifying, it's psychologically unsettling. Remember that scene where it smiles before attacking? That's not something we've ever seen a dinosaur do before. This creature understands fear and uses that knowledge to its advantage. The Interrupter is the embodiment of the dangers of playing God with nature. It's a creature that should have never existed, and its presence in the Lockwood estate turns the movie into a horror thriller, blending classic monster movie vibes with cutting-edge special effects. What makes the Indoraptor even more compelling is what it represents. The movie shows us a world where dinosaurs are commodified and sold to the highest bidder as weapons and status symbols. The auction scene is one of the most chilling parts of the film, not because of the Indoraptor's potential, but it's a stark reminder of how far humanity is willing to go for profit. Let's not forget the action. The Indoraptor is at the center of some of the most intense and visually stunning scenes in the movie. The final showdown in the Lockwood estate is pure edge-of-your-seat excitement, blending suspense, horror, and high-octane action. It's a battle not just for survival, but for the soul of what's left of the human-dinosaur relationship. Something that Fallen Kingdom does really well is character development. Take Claire for example. In the first Jurassic World movie she was all about business, treating the dinosaurs just as assets. But in Fallen Kingdom she has a complete change of heart. Now she's fighting to save the very creatures she once exploited. And then there's Owen, whose bond with Blue, the Velociraptor he trained, adds a surprising emotional depth to the story. Their relationship shows that these dinosaurs aren't just mindless monsters, and they have personalities, emotions, and instincts that make them more than just scientific experiments. That brings us on to one of the most controversial characters in the entire franchise, not just this movie, this being Maisie Lockwood. Originally, she appears just to be an innocent child caught in the middle of the chaos. But as the story unfolds, we learn that she is much more than that. Maisie is actually a clone, created by her grandfather, Benjamin Lockwood, who wanted to bring back his deceased daughter. Obviously, we learn that in Dominion this isn't actually the true and full story, but this revelation adds a whole new layer to the film's exploration of genetic engineering and ethical implications. Maisie's character is deeply connected to the film's themes of identity, humanity, and the consequences of playing God. Just like the dinosaurs, she is a product of genetic manipulation, blurring the lines between what is natural and what is artificial. Her existence raises some heavy questions: if we can clone humans, and should we? And what does that mean for the sense of humanity? Maisie's discovery of her origins is a poignant moment that adds emotional weight to the film, making it more than just a monster movie, but a story that about the complexities of life itself. It's definitely not my favorite Jurassic Park film, but I think it does a good job, and it's the story that pushes the franchise into a new and darker territory. It's about characters who grow and evolve, and it raises a lot of ethical questions. What are your thoughts on this film? Let me know in the comments.